Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock. This is AO Tennis 2 career mode with fictional character Anabella Moncinelli. In the last episode that you saw, I was in the middle of an exhibition, Nets for Vets, and it was a best of five set grass tournament. For whatever reason, I put Anabella in it because she's a grass court specialist and that's her preferred surface. And I did pretty well in the episodes you saw, in the matches you saw, straight set win. The final match was an hour, almost hour and a half long battle against a completely unseeded player that just had my number. And like, even though I won the first two sets pretty handily, I felt like I was never really in control of any points. This sort of happened in the round before, where I said I feel like she's winning, even based on the score. I would be, on the defensive the whole time, and it was a tough match. It went four sets. I won 7-6 in the fifth set. In the fourth set tiebreak, barely. I was down 5-1, I think, in that tiebreak, and came back to win it either 9-7 or 8-6. And I recorded it all, but for some reason, after the first minute or so, the audio got weird and had this weird like crackly sound, and you couldn't really hear what I was saying very well. So it wasn't watchable. So unfortunately, I'm not going to post that, and therefore we don't have the results of that. We won that tournament. We got the Bencic style for ground strokes, which I don't like any better than what we already have. So we're not changing that. Um, and there's another exhibition coming up. But first, where I want to just show you what I've done with her attributes because we've gained some XP through a bunch of training. It's now like the middle of the year. We're at 39 reflexes, 39 stamina because she was having some trouble with the stamina in those five set matches. Not that we're going to be going into any of those anytime soon. Her speed is up to 51. It's going to sit there until everything else kind of gets up to 48, and then we'll start pushing the speed up to 60 and maybe 69, and then we'll push all the other stuff up. I've got a whole plan in a spreadsheet of what I want to do when going up to, I think, 50th level, not overall, but level is the highest you can get. And due to her training, if we look at skills, none of the skills have changed because it costs money. But you can see the max for her top spin is very high up. I think it's around 9. I think I've done it 4 times, and I've succeeded all 4 times, so it should be plus 24. So it should be at like 94 or something like that. The backhand slice is actually very similar. The volley's not quite as good because I struggled a couple of times. I actually started a volley on the wrong type of training. It was like counting up, and you had to hit individual boxes all over the court. And I couldn't even hit the first one. And after I failed the first one, I just exited out of it. I was like, it's not even worth it. Um, I couldn't do it, and it was just like a waste of a minute or whatever every time you did it because I just could not hit it. Volley training is very tough. I finally found the type of training that works, which is the circle. It's not training circles. It's the it looks like a heat map going from green to red in concentric circles, and you want to hit the middle. And because you can hit the edges of it and still get a few points, and occasionally get lucky and hit the middle, and it multiplies. I was able to do that, similar to with the serve, and so I finally got some points. I think the volley is up to around 84, 86 now, something like that as a max. Obviously, its current score is 60, and it won't get any better until we get some money. And that's what I'm planning to do now. Is we're finally getting into a tournament. So if we look at the calendar, we're at the end of July, beginning of July, and we're going from the U.S. to Estonia. It's not that big of travel fatigue. I feel like if you get over 25, 50, 30%, it starts getting trouble. We got to get to Europe somehow because almost all the other tournaments that it's going to offer a European player are in Europe for whatever reason. It doesn't seem to offer them everywhere. There is this. We were invited to this one, which is for the Goffin style. We may do that. We'll see what happens here. Um, but for now, I want to try to get some ranking points. 12 rankings should put us up in the top 1,000. And once we have some ranking points, we'll also get some money. We don't get a lot of money. I think $2,000 if you win, which isn't much. But at least it gets us started, and we can test ourselves against the existing players in the futures, which again, if we look over here, the futures are the lowest, the tier 4, tier 3 is challengers, tier 2 is majors, and tier 1, if you want to call it that, is slams. And so hopefully we'll do okay at this, and we'll see. It's hard court, so it's not her preferred or her least preferred surface. We've got her up to angel status for reputation, so we're not going to worry about that anymore. And the first thing we're going to do is play the number 3 seed, so we could get knocked out of this tournament right away, which is perfectly okay. And we're going to go up against of Britain Jade Friedman, who just looks like a random character. Her fatigue is much worse than ours. We've got some because of the traveling. She's got better power, a little bit better stamina, a little bit lower speed. So we're a pretty good matchup. She's just got more power. Forehand and backhand are about even. Our serve is actually a little bit better because I've been practicing topspin serve. Although all we've done is raise the maximum of that, we haven't actually raised the skill. We won't be able to raise the skill with $2,000. It won't help much. So we've been training and we're ready to go. And so we're going to go ahead and confirm Friedman with that costume. And then the outfit we're going to use for Anabella is a new pink and gray one that I've created for her with a little bit of yellow. That looks okay. And we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't have any logos for her. What I'm going to do is as she gets endorsements, I'll start putting logos. One of the frustrating things is if she gets like, there's something called like donuts galore or whatever that you can get, which is like a food thing, and you can get some endorsement from them. Okay, there is a little symbol in the game, but they don't give you that logo then to put on your racket bag or anything like that, which is sort of weird. You would think that they would do that. Well, she's got a head racket, so when she starts getting racket endorsements, we'll put her head logo on other things besides her bags, which she sometimes has. Although I didn't put it on this particular bag. As she gets endorsements, I'll give her like Adidas or Nike or one of those. But she's got to start winning some tournaments before she gets endorsements. So we'll see what happens. There will be a point at which you will be offered endorsements. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So we're in a 3-set match, finally back to normal. We're on the hard court, so it should be sort of neutral in terms of whether the volley works better than the ground stroke and so on. We're kind of on even ground. We're serving first, which is good. We are going to serve and volley some. We're not going to serve and volley every point unless we get into one of these situations that I've been in sometimes where the computer seems to just be out-rallying me, but I can beat it at the net. Lucky that didn't go out. We don't need to do the angel devil thing anymore. Wow, I gave it a bad serve, but she somehow dumped it into the net. 30 love. She got me there. 30-15.
30-15.
I'm not sure what the point is of doing a win predictor 3 points into the match.
40-15.
And didn't it say the other girl had a higher probability of winning even though I had won 2 of the 3 points? Serve into the body. Okay, this is playing a little more slowly. I got to get used to it now. I really wish it would let you actually do some practice on the surface that you're going to play on. Because that's what actual tennis players do. But that's okay. We won the first game. Montanelli is up 1 love with a couple of nice points at the net. Like that. Bang. That's what we like to see. So it's 1 game to love Montanelli. First set. Wow, she's already obviously got some good ground strokes there. She got me there. Not quite yet, but I thought she had me. There she is. Yeah.
15 love.
So this is the same pattern that I've seen in the other matches, which is that the CPU is in complete control of every rally that is all ground strokes. If I want to take control, I have to go to the net. I can't get control from the ground. I felt like when I was playing Kornikova that I was controlling the ground strokes more, and it was on this same difficulty. We're still on semi-pro, but you know, Kornikova had much better stats than this character. What was that? That was weird. That was a power shot. She doesn't really have much power, but I tried a little bit there. We had her pretty far over, though she wasn't out in the doubles alley or anything, and then just gave him a little bullet down the line. It worked okay. I was planning to use that as a setup shot, 15-30, but it ended up being a winner. All right, in we go. Nope, she got it over my head. 30 all. Prima, of course, number 3 seed in this tournament. That doesn't mean she's high ranked, but she is ranked, right? She must be like 300th in the world or something. Go a drop shot. Let's see what happens. Got her. No, I thought I had her, but I got her with the second shot. She didn't do enough with that volley. I thought I had her right there. Ah, she teleported. You see, I did have her. The computer cheated. Right, when it teleports like that, that's the computer deciding I'm going to get this ball back whether I'm there or not, and it's a little bit of a cheat. You will see it teleport on ground strokes sometimes, like over to the side, usually on the forehand side. It will teleport. It's running, and all of a sudden it slides, just like it did in that slow-mo. So we're deuce here. And if you can get it to teleport, you can hit a winner to the other side. It usually teleports to the forehand side. On the backhand side, it usually hits a stab return where it floats the ball. She got me.
Advantage.
Yeah, so the computer just has the ability to unload in a way that my character never has, and I think it's just because even with Kornikova, the last thing I did was power, so just don't have a lot of power. I'm also not hitting it in the green enough. There we go. She got me again. Game Friedman. Do a little serve volley. That's nice. Not going to do that in every point, of course, but you want to do it sometimes. Keep them honest. I have no idea if the computer is really being kept honest like that, the way a regular player would. Let's come on in. Got my hands in the wrong spot in the joystick. Nope, she got me. Yeah, my finger kind of slipped.
15 all.
There's the teleport, but she did a stab. If it moonballs, you can't hit a winner off of that. There's the teleport. Now you'll see. Yeah, she can't get back to that, I don't think. Oh, she did. Drop shot her. She got it. 15-30.
15 30.
Shouldn't be able to get to that. Yeah, 30 all.
30 all.
Man, I cannot get this thing to go into the green. I don't know why.
30 40.
I feel like that was happening in my last match. Oh, I hate moonballs. Got her there. Deuce.
Use.
Another moonball. We're gonna come in. She got me.
Advantage.
Deuce.
Use.
So now we're getting into what I had in the last match, which was struggling on my serves. Sooner or later you get broken. Do some more slicing to her. There's the teleport, and you can usually nice and easy, but no, she still got to it. You gotta be kidding me, she shouldn't get to that. Finally.
Advantage.
How many hits was that rally?
Let. First serve.
I just can't serve. She got me. Deuce.
Use. Thank you.
Man, no matter how long I hold the button, it never goes green sometimes. Deuce. Yeah, she's hitting a lot of moonballs compared to what I was seeing in the last match that I played that you guys didn't see. It's gonna go out. Oh no, it didn't. I thought that was gonna go out.
Advantage.
And that's game.
Game.
Sorry if that a little bit of noise. I had to turn the fan on. It's getting a little warm in here. It's quite hot today outside, and the AC is not quite keeping up. So it is 2-1 for Moncinelli after struggling through that service game. For a couple of flat shots. Slice. Top spin. Gonna follow that one in. Yep. Alright, we won that point. That's the Tony Traver rule. If you do a good enough approach shot, you don't need to hit the volley. There's the teleport. Yeah, usually,
Love 30.
if you can get her to teleport, you can win the point on the next shot. It only seems to teleport to the forehand side. The backhand side, it always seems to get to it and just hit a stab. The forehand side, it teleports to it and then does a nice shot. It doesn't stab at it. It's interesting that it does it that way. There's another teleport. Got her again. I hope you guys saw what I mean. Let's see if we can see it here. See how she teleports all of a sudden? Just like her, like all of a sudden she does the steps like boom, 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 really fast, and just slides, like it just accelerates. And obviously, no human being can move that way, so I call it the teleport. It's triple breakpoint now for Mancinelli. Oh man, I almost missed that one. There we go. She got me. She had absolute control of that point. I was fighting for my life in every swing. Just barely getting the rocket on it each time. So you know you're going to lose. When that happens, you kind of know you're going to lose the point. You're trying not to. But when you're in that much defensive a position and the other player is dictating it that much, you kind of expect to lose the point. Oh, I'm lucky that didn't go out. It didn't need to be that perfect. But that is game Mancinelli, and we now have a break of serve. We're going to go in again. So that's going in off of a short ball. Serve into the body. Slice. Nice flat shot. Another slice. Flat. Can't get to it. Look at that. Side to side. And it finally went out.
30-15.
Yeah, you know you're not going to win a point when that's going on. And a lot of players just stop because you can't win the point like that. I mean, you might be able to if they make an error, but there are players who will just stop because it's so tiring to do that, and if you're going to lose the point anyway, what's the point of doing it? All right, that's game. We're up 4-1 in the first set. Anabella's doing well against the number 3 seed. You know, I don't need her to win this tournament. I'd be happy with her first professional match, non-exhibition win in an actual tournament. She'll get some ranking points. Usually the way it is it goes by halves, so if you get 12 ranking points for winning the final, then winning a semifinal should get you 6. Winning a quarterfinal should get you 3. Out.
15 love.
Winning a, I guess, 3rd round match, because there are 6 rounds, or either 5 rounds, would get you 2 or 1. You know, winning this match will get us 1 point, maybe. You know, so we get a ranking point. We maybe win a couple $100. You get some experience. And we see how she does. I think she's doing okay enough that we can play in a few tournaments this year. Still going to do primarily training. But we'll pick our battles. We'll play in some futures tournaments this year. I don't intend to do any challengers. And then hopefully by next year we'll have enough XP that we can do some challengers. Stay with it. That's the most important thing. I always remember Jimmy Connors saying, and it was a great moment. He did a little bit of commentary at the U.S. Open. And I think he was watching a player named David Wheaton against somebody else. I don't remember who. He was an American. He was a young guy. People were kind of hoping he would be like the next Jimmy Connors or whatever. And David Wheaton hit one sort of a shot, one shot that he hit it and he stopped playing. And, you know, kind of watched his shot that he thought was a winner, and the shot came back and was a beautiful passing shot. And Connor said David was caught admiring his shot, right? He was looking at how nice his own shot was, and the other player got it and hit it back. And all of us saw it. My friends and I all watched this match. Partly because Connors was doing the match call, which he didn't do very often. He was still an active player, I think, at that point. He was like 38 or 39 years old. You know, it was like 1988, maybe, 89. He was like 37. He was still an active player. He played until he was like 40. That's another unforced error. You're doing too many of those. And so we all saw it. And then there were certainly times when we were doing that. And we would say to each other, you were caught admiring your shot. Or my friend Albert, who used to play team with me a lot, used to say, stop admiring your shots, because I used to do that. I would hit it like, it's going to be a winner. And then my other friends would run over and like whap it up the line, and we weren't that great. But they would get it, and, you know, I've got to be ready for it. And instead, I would get caught flat-footed because I was admiring my shot. And Albert would say, stop admiring your shot. Keep playing until the point's over. And I've definitely sometimes done that in this video game, not in this particular game of this match. But there have been times playing AO Tennis 2 that I've been caught admiring my shots. Don't stop playing. Now, I wasn't admiring there, I was covering up the line, but she got me. Let's go on in. We're in the close up in the court. There we go. So that's it. I ran in. I didn't just admire that shot. Right? Oh, well. Couldn't get to it. Yeah, that was ugly.
Quiet, please.
And she got me with a lob.
15, 14.
So even though I'm serving out the set, she's coming in clutch, which the computer likes to do. Likes to come in clutch. Does it?
13, 14.
I can't remember who it was on the Steam forums that said what annoys him is the clutchness of the CPU, that it'll goof around until, you know, it's set point or something, and then all of a sudden you can't beat it. But that's not true here. It's now deuce. I've erased 2 break points. Anabella has really erased 2 break points here. And now we're going to serve volley again. That gets us to set point at 5-1.
Advantage.
Serve into the body. And I'm going to run in again. She gave me short balls. I'm going to take the opportunity. Got her. See again, if you notice I moved to the left to cover the line. I didn't admire the shot. So, 6-1. 93% first serve percentage for Montanelli versus 85 for Friedman, which is not bad. We've been doing okay on our serves. 29 winners to 16. 4 and 5 unforced serves. It's really not terrible unforced serves, but I've pushed a couple of balls wide that I shouldn't have. 13 to 17 in the net is pretty good. And 91 miles an hour is not a bad first serve speed for someone who has very low skill in that discipline, or whatever you want to call it. Very low score in that skill, I guess. I'm mostly doing sliced returns. The reason I do that is it takes the speed off of the serve, forcing them to generate pace. They certainly seem capable of doing it. 30 winners now to 16. So if Friedman's going to win, she's got to start upping her winners, because you can't. It's really hard to win a match when the other guy has twice as many winners as you do, or the other gal in this case. Slice up the line. I don't often do that. I usually slice cross court, but let's slice up the line again. Oh, that went out. Oh, I thought that one went out. She should have contested that. I was sure. Let's see if we can see it. From this angle, it's going to be hard to see. Oh, man, that looked out to me. I thought I pushed that wide. Love 30. So she's struggling on her serve again, Friedman. And again, like, it seemed like the first 3 games, this was going to be a really tough match. And then, since then, she's kind of been goofing around a little bit and not playing as tough as she was those first 3 games. And that's out. That's another unforced error wide across court. I keep doing that. And there's really no reason to do that. Right? Nice and comfortable inside the lines. We don't need to go all the way to the line. Right, that's close enough. Right? 15-40. Mancinelli now has double break point in the first game of the second set. And that is a break of serve. Game Mancinelli, she is up a break, 1-love in the second set. Lucky that didn't go out. I pushed it too close to the line. I've got to stop steering for the lines. Serve into the body. Now we'll run in on a short ball. That one out.
15
Go in again on a short ball. How come she didn't swing at that? I don't know. Sometimes the computer won't let me swing at balls like that, and it doesn't swing at them either. I don't know why. She got me with a lob, 30 all. Slice up the line. Top spin. Flat. She's got me. Yeah. I don't know why the computer does that. It's got the whole court, and it goes back where I already am. She got me anyway. 30-40. Break point.
30-40.
Alright, well, you know what we're going to do on a break point. We're coming in for a serve volley. Definitely, when the chips are down, I go for the net play for sure. If you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to pass me or lob it over my head. I'm gonna make you beat me. None of this ground stroke stuff. You're gonna have to beat me at the net. Game Mancinelli, 2 games to love. So that was nice. I'm lucky that that went in. That was very tight, close. And that just hit inside the line. I pushed it way too close, but it's hard not to. The dot moves very quickly, and it seems to want to stick to the lines, especially when you're volleying. It's almost like it's like teleporting there practically. That was a power shot. I don't know if you could tell. I don't know that it makes much difference when you only have 30 power. When you have 70 power, then it makes a difference. But this is not a 5-set match, so Friedman is going to need to break back soon, or she's going to have trouble because she can't afford to drop a second set. That's the end of the match. There's the teleport. Nice, easy shot back. Can I make her teleport again? And now we're going to run up. But we got her. 1530. So I no longer need to use the Angel Devil option to increase reputation because our reputation is maxed. And as far as I can tell, with the Anna Kournikova career, it never decayed. So there's no point to continuing to do it. And it's 1540. Took the short ball, come in again. The Martina Navratilova advice, don't try to do too much with the shot at the service line. Use it to put yourself into position, cut off the angles, then take the winner on the next volley. You can do that if they don't lob it over your head. But in real life, players don't lob a lot because it's very hard to get lobs to go in correctly. Lob is actually one of the toughest shots to do properly. You can certainly lob it over somebody's head, but if you put it up too high, that gives them time to just run around, wait till it lands, and bounces up, and then they can just overhead smash it and kill it anywhere they want. The overhead smash is an easier shot, generally, than the lob itself, and so you don't want to set them up for that, and that's another break of serve. You don't want to set the other player up to have a nice, easy overhead. So to do a proper, like a topspin offensive lob, Groff was really good at it. Chris Evert probably had the best offensive lob in the game of tennis, of men or women. Hers was amazing. And even Evert didn't do it over Navratilova's head more than maybe 10 times in a match. Because if it got within Navratilova's reach, it was coming back as a smash, and you're not going to get it. So you only do that when you feel like you have a good chance to get it over their head and keep it in. You can throw up a defensive lob, of course, to give yourself time to get back in position. But like that, sort of a defensive lob almost, you can do that, but it's probably going to give the other player, an option to really pound it at you. Now, for some reason, we're losing stamina. I don't know why. And I have a really interesting question about the way this is programmed. Is it what set number you're on, or that it's the last set? Or whatever, Does it go, okay, it looks like the match is about to end, and as the match is getting toward the end, 15 all, that you should start getting tired? I don't really know. Somebody asked that in the comments of the Kournikova career. It's only 6-1. They haven't been playing that long on court, right? It's only 27 minutes into the match. Why would a conditioned tennis player be tired at this point in the match? Deuce? Or not deuce, but 30 all. Basically deuce, right? That's actually a good question. Why bother keeping the 30-40 scores at 30? You can basically call it deuce because this 30-40 is the equivalent of advantage. You know what we're going to do? We're going to come in because we come in when we're in trouble. Now it's deuce. Yeah, that's going over my head. But it went out. That's why you have to be careful doing lobs. Right? Because you saw where she put it near the line. If it goes too shallow, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get it for a winner. So you've got to hit it deep enough. It's just like the volley. You've got to put the volley in the right place or it's coming back as a winner. And it's much harder to put the lob in the right place, right? With a volley, you're aiming right where you want the shot to go with the racket head. But with a lob, you're aiming up and you want the shot to drop in and you're relying on gravity. And it's very hard to do properly. which is why even players like Chris Evert and Tracy Austin didn't do it to Martina Navratilova that much, or Graf, right? Again, go watch Wimbledon 1988, Steffi Graf versus Martina Navratilova in the finals. It's the year Steffi Graf was #1 in the world. She proved it to everybody by beating Martina at Wimbledon. She had become #1 without beating Martina, by beating other people like Gabriela Sabatini and stuff at the Australian, at the French. And then she came in and really hammered Martina in the second and third set of that match. It was 7-5 in the first, and then 6-2, 6-2, and it was 5-7. Navratilova won the. She was down 5-2 or something, and then reeled off like 5 straight games and won that set 7-5, and was up break to love in the second, and then Graf came back and won 12 of the next 13 games and took the second, third sets to each 6-2, 6-1 or something like that. It was just amazing how well Graf played, and she had Navratilova's number. She was kicking her ass at the net. Navratilova was getting beaten at the net, and Graf was not doing it with lobs. She lobbed a few times, right? I don't know, maybe 8, 10 times in that match. But the shots that she was hitting winners for were ground strokes. She was making passing shots. Unbelievable passing shots. Passing shots the like of which I don't think I've ever seen before or after against a net player like Navratilova or McEnroe. Connors used to be able to do it to McEnroe. Well, that was very lucky. We did that powder puff lob volley. I don't know if that's a mishit or what. She got to it with a teleport. You saw that. But Mancinelli was there. I stayed in the right place. I didn't admire my shot. The other one I remember Connor saying when he... I can't remember what David Wheaton did next. I remember saying David was wishing and hoping. He was hoping that thing was going to go in for a winner. Yeah, she's got me. All right, I'm going to come on in. No, there's no way. She should have had me before that. 30-40. Still break point. And she's got to hold serve here, or I'm serving out this match. And if this is going to be like this against the #3 player, we should like our odds for the rest of the tournament. Now, what I will say is, you don't want to count your chickens before they're hatched, just like in real life. In that best of 5 set exhibition on grass, the nets for vets, I beat the #2 player in the tournament, Victoria somebody or other. I beat her handily in the first round, and then I don't know why didn't she get that. Anyway, beat her handily in the first round. Straight sets in a slightly tougher match in the second round, which you saw. Then the third round, which was against a completely unranked, unseeded player, I had to go to 4 sets, 7-6 in the fourth. Which means that player came very close to tying it and taking 2 sets from me, which the #2 player didn't do. Nope. I pushed her to the wrong place. That was stupid. I should have gone up the line with that. I usually do. I don't know why I didn't. Position myself for an up the line shot. Want to trade slices? I'll do that. Now let's do a flat shot. There's a flat. Let's run in. Come on up. Nope, she got me. Love 30. Alright, we know what we do when we're getting in trouble. We play the net. There we go. You know, was it Dick Enberg used to call Boris Becker's first serve the eraser, because he could throw in a first serve and just erase points. I think if Dick Enberg were watching Anabella, he would say that her serve and volley is the eraser. Can't get it. Break point, 30-40.
30-40.
Clutch play by the computer, of course. It always does. Trying to stay in the match, but it's deuce.
Use.
And second serve for Moncinelli. We got our first serve a little bit better this now. Okay, we get short ball, so we'll come in. That's her volley is the eraser, I think. And now it's match point. So you know what we're going to do. Certain volley. And that's the match. Anabella Moncinelli wins her first professional match in an actual tournament. We have a screenshot of that. Just so I have a little memento of her very first tournament win. This is the first time that she was playing a non-exhibition match. How did I mix up my serve? Okay. I mean, I'm always going to be going wide more often than not. You'll notice that the computer doesn't mix up its serve at all. Well, it did a little bit better this time. Usually it doesn't do outside at all. Rally hit point for us. 27% inside the baseline. That's good. Only 9% deep. That's good. Friedman was pretty similar, actually, although all of her inside the baseline hits except one were still near the baseline because she didn't come into net. Winners, we had twice as many forehand as backhand winners, and twice as many of them were in the deuce court. I'm sorry, the ad court. Ad court. 24 of 35 at the net. I will take that. And 49 winners to 7 unforced errors. That's not bad. 7 unforced errors is not bad for a whole match. And we gained some XP. 1,000 XP. I still don't know why it's only 1,000 performance. It goes all the way up to 1,500 and as low as about 500. I thought we performed pretty well. I don't know how you could get any better performance, so I don't know if it's based on how good the opponent was, how close the match was. I'm not really sure. Okay, so this puts us against Beckert from, is that Germany? I apologize, I'm not great at the flags. Having defeated Friedman from Britain, we're in the second round. So if you look at the rounds, right, the final is worth 12 points, semifinals should be worth something like 6, quarters 3. I guess 1 point for the other rounds, I'm not really sure. And you can see the different sections of the draw. So we're in section 3 of the draw, where the number 3 seed was located. The number 3 seed was knocked out by us, so the only seed left in this draw is number 6, who we will meet. And the third round, which in this case is it looks like the round of 16, or no, the third round is the quarterfinals. So we're already, I guess, in the round of 16? Yeah, not sure. Because, yeah, the quarterfinals already set, and I think that's the third round. So second, so yeah, it's a 5-round. It looks like, I think these are 5-round tournaments. All right, so you can simulate. The Y says simulate. If we want, we don't want to play the match, we'll hit simulate. That's what I'm going to do if I ever get into 5-set tournament again. But 3 sets is great, and this is an actual money tournament. You don't win anything until the end of the tournament, but we should have won, I don't know, a couple $100 by now. And we'll see how we go as we continue through the tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been AO Tennis 2 Career Mode with fictional character Anabella Moncinelli.